Many years ago, Thai government have a new law that they will have education fund for every people who need fund for education. That makes many people very exciting about that because we never have that chance in our life before. And education is something very far away from people's life at that time. Only people who have money can get higher education. So poor people, you cannot have a choice. But when that law, when the government has that law, people are exciting about that. And then at that time, to get loan easily, it's never happened in the history. That make people very enjoy it. But now, almost 30 years, I think, what happened now is a lot of people have the big impact from education loan. Because when people feel like education is the most important thing in our life, we need to invest as much as we can to get a better education, higher education. That means we will have a better choice in our life. That's the belief of most of people. But the reality is different now. Later on, the reality is changed because more and more finish higher education, but the number of jobs is very limited. And then job position is depend on economics growth too. So it have many factors to involve with the job of people. A lot of people have a big debt after that. Until now, more than 20 years, many people haven't paid off their debt yet. And then many people will sue during this time because they did not pay off their debt. So the education system that we have, it makes people feel very proud that they finished university, they have certificate, but it costs so much money to get that. It takes so many years to finish university, and then after they have the certificate, after they finish university, they don't know anything. There's no skill, there's nothing, they need to looking for a job. And at the end, most of people become a cheap labor. Just make a living day by day. They cannot make enough money to pay off their debt. Some people who are not in debt, but they sold their farmland for the education of their kids. When their kids finish university, their kids cannot make money to buy the land back. Because people who finish education system, who very success in their career, in their life, who make enough money, it's very small amount of people. But most of people are become jobless, or not jobless but become cheap labor. Cheap labor. So these people invest a lot to become a cheap labor. This is the most wasteful investment in the world. Invest in education system. So now I met so many people who are in debt from education. I feel so sad. These people cannot make enough income for make a living. How can they pay off their debt? From what I experienced so far, I feel like education is a kind of product that take advantage of consumer more than any products in the world. They make education look like a big and very important thing in our life. Actually, education is important, but the education in the system is not that important. But people confuse. We confuse that when we think about education, we need to go to university, we need to go to school in the government system only. Actually, that's quite big mistake from now on. Education that we will use have to be outside of the system. What we need to use, we need to learn that thing. We need to do what we love to do. We need to learn what we love to learn. That's the way we develop our skill. When we have skill in what we love, we always survive. We always find solution for ourselves to have a good life. But whenever we learn, we don't know what we have to learn. We just follow the system. We cannot develop ourselves good enough in that way. And then everybody go to the system. It produce a lot of cheap labor to feed the business sector. So in the past, people think it's about your status. If you finish university, if you have certificate from university or become a doctor or something like that, you feel like you're high status. Everybody want to invest for that. But now it's not like that anymore, because too many people who finish high education level but have no job, cannot help themselves and become jobless. So I think loan for education is maybe important for some people who very trust themselves, who very good about their aim in their life. I think they can borrow money to do that, but it's still risky. For me, education loan is one of the biggest trap in new generation's life, because so far I met so many people who cannot start their life yet. Education loan is a mistake policy, because why new generation have to start their new life with debt on their shoulder? They don't even know how to work. They have no skill to work. They don't know how to make money. How can they have to start their life with debt on their big debt on their shoulder? That's the biggest mistake, because debt is suffering. Why we want our new generation, our children, to start with suffering in their life? This is a big mistake in the education system. So education have to be free for everybody. Education is the way to develop the country, to make the economic grow, to make democracy grow, to make everything good. We need to have good education. But good education have to be free for everybody. Not only a few amount of people can get a good education. So you cannot develop anything when you have no people who have a lot of skill, a lot of smart idea. And now the world has changed so much. Many careers will be disappear from the world soon. Many jobs is shrink very fast now, but people are not aware about that. So we still invest our money, our life to learn to get that job. That is the big mistake from now on. So education debt is something that we need to be very, very careful for new generation, because it will ruin our life forever. Many people stressed, many people have depressed for a long time. Even they commit suicide in some case. So sad, because we have so many choice in our life to choose different kind of education. But what we were trained, what we were taught to believe is we need to go to education system to get education only. Actually, there are many people who success in their life without going to university. I have some people who I knew, they finished primary school. This guy, he's finished primary school. He's younger than me, about 6 years. And then he said, he told his dad that, Dad, I don't want to go to the school. Can you take me to be volunteer at a motorcycle shop? So his dad, okay, that's good. I don't have money to send you to school anyway. So he become volunteer in a motorcycle shop for 6 months. After that, he came back home. He spent a little bit of money to buy tools and open a small shop to fix bicycle, fix motorcycle. A few years later, he have a big shop. And less than 5 years, he have enough money to buy many pieces of land. In his class, 60 people, there's only 3 people who are not in debt. These 3 people refuse to go to the school. They prefer to go looking for education outside of the system. This guy, he learned from the motorcycle fixing shop, and he started his life. And another 2 people, they learn how to be a carpenter. Both of them become a carpenter, and then now they have a construction company. But the rest of people, more than 50 people, they finish university, they get a job, but they have a lot of debt. So this is something I feel like people don't know they have many choices in their life. People think that you need to follow everybody, walk into this path only. You cannot go out of the path. It's like the path that they lead us to the factory. So sad. Education debt caused so big and long suffering for many people that I met so far. So anybody who think about to borrow money for education, it's good to contemplate deeply, to think it very long time. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Because it's so long and so expensive to train ourselves to be unable people. And how can we have a good life when we have no skill, nothing? We have only memory about information that we will never use it. That is what education system give to us. So education debt is a big trap for new generation now. Beware of debt, because our children are young. They are young. They need to start their life with joy, with excitement, with happiness, exciting to explore the world, to start their new life. That is the way life should be. We should not let our children to carry a big debt and don't know what to do, don't know where to go, and looking around for a job. I don't think we have to be like that. We have many choices.